Hey, welcome back to another Let Loose Dog Talk. Happy Wednesdays, guys. We got a special guest today, Remarco. We're doing second part with Remarco, getting into more in depth about breeding. But we got Gabriel in the background. We don't have a face to Gabriel, but he's there.
I'm here. I'm giving everybody a break. Sick of seeing me. Incognito mode.
There you go. So, Remarco, how's that going, brother? I know your hands are full right now with puppies and everything. Tell us a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
how's that going.
yeah. Pups are good. Mom is good. We got six healthy pups, so we're happy that everyone's thriving right now. Three males, three females. First week is usually the hardest week because you're paranoid about feeding puppy syndrome, that kind of stuff. But
Yes.
everyone's doing good, so
Oh, that's
we
good. That's good. You have
we're doing that part.
any run in there?
Uh,
Congratulations.
Hi, baby. You had it hugged on you, says by the pillow. Go look. Go. It, it's by the pillow, baby. Go.
That's good. That's real life. I'm glad everybody knows we're real people and we got a,
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of
Yeah,
we all
definitely.
got
Yep.
we all got regular stuff, besides everyday stuff besides a dog. So
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
it's
Cause
refreshing.
yeah, like that's my little helper. All right, give me a second, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go for it. Go
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
go for it.
So what's up with you,
Dennis,
Gabriel? What you're up to?
nothing much, man. I'm just picking up the kids, driving around like a little Uber, but
And there you
everything's
go. So
good.
people can see that you're real. You're just not behind a screen and hanging out in there. You got
Yeah,
family
just
duties. Yeah.
just not in the basement. What's going on with you?
Same thing, man. Just rested here from work and attend to the dogs and get this thing ready and have you guys up
And
in here.
Linnell's working too, right?
Yeah, Linnell's working, so I don't know if he'll jump in here, but hey, if not, it's all right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we're holding it down.
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, boys.
Oh, nice, nice.
No, you're good,
So,
man.
do you have a run in the litter, Remarco?
Yeah, my rents are usually always a male for some
Mm,
reason. I
okay.
got a little boy, like not really like far off the others, but he's gonna be like shorter back, more compact, tighter build kind of male
Okay.
versus like my standard big like Ibby male.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, he's about 6 to 7 ounces off of like his other two brothers.
Mm.
Remarco, is this oldie or this was American Bulldog litter?
All American. So this is my first American in 3 years.
Okay,
There
there we
you
Yep.
go.
go. That's what's up. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Any
had to think back.
differences?
Huh?
You see any differences maybe from this American Bulldog litter than maybe like your oldie litter or anything else you've done recently?
In all honesty, not much because how this American breeding is set up. So the the dam of this litter is the mom of my first F1 breeding. So the female from my F1 breeding, that's her mom. So Hostage's mom was put to Nova's son and Haas's son. So that is the second F1 I did.
Okay.
The dam, her son was put to Phoenix's half brother, Champion Haas, to create the male that I put Phoenix to.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so you already know what you're working with.
yeah, so it's like I'm using back all of my best females again, and then I'm line breeding on Haas's mom and Phoenix's mom, using Nova and Malikid as my outcrosses.
Oh, there you go.
Very
So,
nice. Line breeding. I like that.
oh, 100
Some
percent.
people hate that.
Oh no. They don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. A lot of not understanding, but
Yeah, they
line
don't
breeding
understand
is,
that.
is is great. Once you know what you're doing and You
So
use a tool, you use it correctly, right? It works out
exactly
for everybody.
that's how you create the lane. So you can you can't
Exactly.
you can't create the lane by outcrossing. And
Yeah, because
Clip
just
it,
outcrossing,
clip it.
you're just putting a name to the dogs, but
yeah,
you're not really.
you just
Yep.
put in you just tagging a kennel name alone, but you're not creating a lane that kind of way.
Yep. Exactly.
Clip it right there.
So that's the thing. You just it's just tools like anything in life. Like you got tools to do certain things, and if you use the tools right, the job goes well. If you use the tools wrong, then it's a headache.
True. True. So
Yeah.
that's our topics for today. Just kind of touch a little bit based on inbreeding, outcrossing, and line breeding.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Remarkable. Why do you feel people are afraid to use these tools?
I think generally is a lack of understanding and people being scared of what might happen. But
Okay.
at the same time, like you can outcross these dogs and put two dogs from two different lines together and get the same problem because they carry the traits in the back from the gene pool from different gene pools, but carry the same trait and it shows up. So it's one of those things you can find out faster what's behind your dogs when you put them together or back on themselves versus outcrossing and still getting back the same problems with a genetic split with a dog that has same trait but different bloodline.
True, true. And you know what I feel that if you're comparing inbreeding with humans to
Yeah,
animals, I think that's where they get the misconception of how things work. You
yeah,
get a bad idea about it, but you really don't understand how to, things work.
yeah. That's true. A lot of people do think that way. It's weird, but at the same time, like they don't understand any better because a lot of people don't come from like a farming background or like really dive deep into like the dogs or the genomes, that kind of stuff. So they don't understand it. They look at it like if I take a half brother, half sister, they're gonna look at it like, why would I want to go sleep with my half brother or half sister?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it gets weird that kind of way for sure. But when you really think about it, like for instance, like I love like researching horses and genetics of horses and stuff like that. So like all stallions came from four brothers.
Yeah,
Four brothers. And look, that was how many hundreds of years ago, and horses are still fighting today.
true. Yeah,
Exactly.
So when anything's done right, it can work, but at the same time, when you do it wrong, it can go terribly wrong either way.
and definitely, and that's why I say, you know, um, the closest thing to inbreeding, it's brother to sister, not half brothers, brother to sister
Yep,
from the
yep,
same
that
litter, right? That's
yep,
the inbreeding.
yep,
Now, like the back crossing is taking to me is father to daughter or mother to son,
yeah,
right?
doubling back up on one side of the
Correct.
gene
Yes.
pool.
And but to really know what you have in your lines, that's why you use these tools because you'll
Yep,
discover what really you have in your blood. You have those bad genetics in there, but
yep,
you expose them. And inbreeding doesn't cause any deformities or anything. Your dog already has them in there,
yeah.
or any animal, you know.
It just shows them up. If they're in
Yep.
there, they're going to show up. So that's just the reality. Because
Yep.
for me, I've done a few inbreedings to figure out what my line had, and it showed me exactly what was behind my dogs, and I was like, okay, no problem. Like I could work with this. I had to see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
And that's what like some breeders don't tell you. They will tell you like, yeah, inbreed and you get all these fantabulous dogs. Like, no, you're gonna get the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
Like if it's behind there, it's gonna come out because you're taking your gene pool and bottlenecking it together and seeing what it will throw at you.
Correct.
So I always tell people like don't expect a perfect litter. Don't expect like even when you do an outcross, it like nothing's perfect. So don't expect that when you inbreed. You're just
Yeah.
gonna see exactly what's behind your dogs, and if you don't like what comes out, then
You
you
have to
might
cool it.
you're gonna have to look at different avenues because
Yep.
if you compound your blood and you don't like what came back at you, don't waste your time trying to build it here and build it there and outcross to still end back up at the same spot
Correct. Yep. And
because
and you know what? And people don't they don't understand too that when you inbreed, you have to cool, right?
oh,
You know
100%.
you yeah, because you're like you said, you're gonna expose some of the bad traits that your line has,
Yeah,
and whether you do a soft cool or hard cool,
yeah,
depends what direction you want to go. But
exactly.
the key is selecting. After that, you select to what you really want. But like you said, if you don't like what you see, what's coming out, then you have to find another avenue and maybe just scrap that line and move forward
Yeah,
with something else.
100% because it's just showing up what's behind it. So if you don't like what's coming out, it's just showing you what's behind it.
True.
That's like some people see an awesome male dog and he doesn't look like his pedigree. A total anomaly, and they think that by breeding to this anomaly, they'll get back the anomaly.
Yeah.
No, he throws exactly what he is and what's
Exactly.
behind him.
Yep.
So it's like once you understand that dogs really only throw what they genetically can throw, like look at the ped, study the ped. Once you know no one hung anything
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
up close, but
Yeah,
put
then
them
you're really like, oh, what's going on here?
exactly. Well, once no one hung anything up close because like most of like the A/B stuff that's been hung has been generations now. So we already figured out what's behind it, what could come, that kind of stuff.
Correct. Yep.
So once you look at the ped, look at the dog, make sure the dog matches the ped. Because if the geno and the pheno doesn't match, you're gonna end up with a mixed batch, and you're gonna be
True.
like, "What the hell happened here?"
Yep.
So I tell people like that's the biggest part. Like when you really wanna get an idea what your dog could throw, just look over the last 3, 4 generations of your dog. Check siblings, check uncles and aunts, see what they produce, that kind of stuff. It gives you a better idea. There's just saying, "Oh, my dog looks great, and I could put him to this dog, and it should be fine." You gotta look behind your dogs a little bit to understand the genetics behind your dogs. Because
True.
I got a female that not many people like. My female gene, so
Mm.
she's full fawn bodysuit, black mask,
Okay.
really athletic build, nice chisel box head, but like not super big head or anything. But like a lot of people don't like her because she has Braveheart behind her.
Okay. And we know what brave part is, so that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't like her based on her being super athletic, and then she has Braveheart blood behind her. Me understand the controversy there, but the dog she throws take after her orange and pan side.
Yeah.
She's a heavily line bred dog on orange and pan.
Yep.
And then I took her and put her back to her uncle, which is a pan son Red Hulk from GGK.
Okay.
And that created Haas. And if you look at Haas, will never tell he
Yep.
has brave heart in
True.
his blood at all.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, the dog is nice.
So it's like one of those things where you have to understand what's behind your dog, pull on which side you want to pull on. Well, if I took her and put her back to a brave heart dog,
Then
I'll get back to a standard dogs.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
So it's one of those things where you gotta understand, look, do your research, and then commit to a plan. Like all the males that I ever put her to were super bully, super big bone. Even on the outcrosses, that's what I had to put her to.
Yeah.
Bully big bone dogs.
Yeah. So
And
we so you think that's why not that's why, but you think before like with the oldies, anybody that's doing a F1 breeding kind of do their homework on the AB side to make sure,
you
you
have
know,
to.
yeah, right? Before you move forward just getting any AB, and you got to see how it's bred and everything, because
Mhm.
if not, the results that you're expecting might not be
Yeah,
hitting.
I've seen some people just hop in the F1 because okay, I got an AB male, like he looks decent. Okay, yeah, let me put him to my oldie female, and it's gonna knock it out the park. It doesn't work that way. Like even doing the F1s and crossing them, you gotta really understand the AB side, or pretty much any of the foundation breeds you put back in. You gotta understand that side as well because the ABs you can get a drawback too.
Yeah.
You can get the standard split, and we all know that 90% of oldie people ain't gonna want a standard looking AB
Yeah.
to put into their oldie lane. They're gonna be looking for dogs that are cheeky, nice head, nice fronts, nice rears.
True.
So it's one of those things where a lot of people don't understand necessarily to watch what's behind because he's gonna throw what's behind. But if you do your research and you do it right, you can get some awesome dogs
True.
that will remind you something of Mufasa, depending on how much AB you put in.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a comment here from Beyond Bullies. I think this is Michael. Michael, if that's you, correct me if not. Sorry about that. He's like, I follow chicken breeders to learn also a lot of knowledge to
Oh,
learn from them. COI is
100%.
definitely more extreme in dogs compared to poultry.
Oh,
True.
100%.
Yep.
100%. Because I think the average COI in bulldogs is about, well, I should say lane bred bulldogs. Like if you really like a well lane bred bulldog is about 15 to 25% roughly.
Yeah.
So that's a decent COI. Like I like to stay between 10 and 15 on my lane bred dogs that I put plan to put back into the same lane.
Okay. Okay.
So like Haas, his COI was 28, almost 29%. So he
Hmm.
was on the higher COI. So I never put him back into his blood directly.
Do you feel that it'll have some kind of problems or
Um, just based on his mom, I didn't want to pull too much on
from her?
pulling back in the Braveheart
Yeah.
without adding back in like some big bully dogs.
Yeah. No. No.
So
Yes.
that's why I had to like I did him to Nova and then I did his mom to Mali Kid. Also did Nova to Mali Kid, so I know all the bloods are compatible and how they work together. And put him back this second generation into well, third generation of Haas, but second generation overall
Hmm.
into each other. It created some of my bulliest newborn pups.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And you know what? When it comes to breeding, breeding is breeding. Whether you're
Yeah.
breeding chicken, fish, whatever it is, it's
Take the
just with
knowledge. Take the
yeah,
knowledge and use it.
yep, exactly. And then I know with chickens, it's like you're really cool inbred
Mhm.
those things as
Oh, 100%.
crazy. Yeah,
100%. Because if you really want, like, to pull certain traits from, like, say your star cock and you gotta put him to his daughter and then take that back, no, run it to his brother and then take a female from that back to him. It
Yeah, there's a lot of
balls
yes,
go hard.
yes. But you know
But
what? I've seen some of the most, I guess uniform, consistent cocks out there with certain breeders that inbred hard like that.
mm-hmm.
And man, if and these are game fouls, right?
Oh, 100%.
So, but man, some of these they go out same thing, confirmation shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whoa, man, you'll see those things and you're like, God, this
Yeah.
thing is it's
Standing
beautiful.
tall,
Yes. Yep.
fucking up his chest,
Yep.
hackles. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So it
I came up on that side too, so I get it.
yeah, see, that's why like I said, if some people are afraid of it because they don't understand these tools that we have, and I get it,
Yeah.
but don't look at it in that perspective of, oh, as humans, because then that's when you're gonna be like, no, I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
It
Yeah.
gets weird.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like I'll tell anyone, like if you really want to do it, research about it, read up on it.
Yes.
Like don't necessarily take everyone's word of mouth or their experience doing it
Yep.
because they could have done it really right or really wrong too.
True.
So it's
And
one
there
of those things. Just research, do your own research, read up on it a little bit. Like if you genuinely have questions, like and you know someone that you think is a good peer or mentor or anything that you could ask a question to, ask them and see what they tell you.
Definitely, yep. And you know what we have an advantage compared to, let's say, chicken breeders, is that we could test our dogs.
Yeah.
Right? So we're ahead. So now just look
Hmm.
at that embark and be like, okay, let me see what's in here. Oh, he's a carrier of this. Okay.
Hmm.
You know, that's why, man, um I'm good with testing, your stock broad and everything, because you really know how to do things,
Yeah.
and when it comes to inbreeding, like I said, it's a tool. Even back crossing or even line breeding, it's methods to do it, right? There's steps. We just don't jump on it and be like, oh, let's see what
Oh,
happens. No.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fast way to crash and burn for sure. Because
Exactly.
if you don't really take your time to research it or know what you're trying to do, you're gonna end up nowhere real fast.
Yeah.
And let's be real. This dogs and breeding dogs and that kind of stuff is not cheap.
It's not.
It's not one of those things you could be like, oh yeah, I could just do this and whatever. No, you spend a good bit of money to create these dogs and maintain these dogs. So when you really think about it, like it pays to do your research versus burning, let's
Thousands.
say, thousands of dollars or
Yep.
two or three breedings off a female, because that's usually what it is for most females. Like they last three breeding cycles, like if they're a really good female for your kennel. Because in my books, like if she hasn't outproduced herself or created dogs that you love in three breedings, you don't know what you're doing. I want this one. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I look at it. Like for me, especially my studs in terms of breeding breeding span, like most of my studs retire themselves before they hit 2 3 years old.
Mhm. Okay.
Because like by the time they're like three and their first litter is like 16 18 months, like coming up on two, and they look way better than their dad. Like that's the next generation. Like
And you just made a great point, Remarkable, that even your your stock that you have, your foundation,
mm-hmm,
the goal is to always improve and do better.
exactly.
So, like you said, if the offspring looks way better than the sire, hey,
Hmm.
the sire it might just be retired, like you said, and that's
Yeah,
it, and
he
move with the offsprings. Yep,
he did his job. He did what
exactly.
he was
Yeah,
supposed to do. So it's like that's just how I look at it too, because I don't want to necessarily flood the market with this my gene pool.
yeah,
Like I feel like when you create good dogs and you can be selective with how you create your dogs, like even outside of your kennel, it it is better than you breeding your male that produces really well to everything and just getting back some subpar dogs here, lackluster dogs there, one or two good ones here for some females because let's be realistic. A lot of people blame the stud. They don't even look at the female. Oh,
yep,
this stud isn't producing. Nah.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of the times it's the female that's producing. You
Yeah.
know, it depends how she's bred and everything, and you know, she's
Yeah.
the one probably carrying the line. That's how the pups look good. Then you breed
Mhm.
that same male to another female that is not as good, and you see those pups, and you're like, the hell? Well,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So that's why, like, for me, like, I'm a female heavy kennel. Like, I focus on my females a lot.
yeah,
I think I got 21 adults, well, preteens and adults without counting my last two litters of pups. And cause that 21 across my programs, I have 15 females.
okay,
Like I got six males, one of them castrated, like he's just a pet.
yeah,
Um, so it's like I don't necessarily keep a lot of males because in my brain, my females create the males that I like.
yeah,
Like I can take, for instance, Nova and put her to pretty much any male that I see that I like for her that's compatible both genome and phenol and create awesome offspring in terms of males.
yeah,
And then by the time I use her son now, put back to anything in the kennel, it's gonna create a nicer dog, a better dog. It should be moving forward because I honestly believe like especially in your program in your kennel, like if you put your males to a female, it should be padding his stats. So it should be creating the best dogs possible for his gene pool.
yeah,
And sometimes like you'll get a outside kennel that has an amazing bloodline and everything goes off the charts for you for a stud. But for the most part, you shouldn't be relying on an outside kennel to boost your meals
true.
stats and productions. Like he should have the best chances in your yard to produce awesome dogs.
Yeah, and see that's um when you inbred dogs, you get that prepotency on them,
Exactly.
right? Yeah,
Exactly. That's like a lot of people think like you just lane breed. So like you don't just lane breed off the bat. Like let's say you buy for argument's sake, five dogs for your best dog. You buy three three really nice females, different lanes, all different lanes. Then you buy two males, could be related to one female or total outcrosses to the females.
yeah,
You breed each of those males to each female. You pick the best from each one on one, and then you put the offsprings together. You see what comes out
yeah,
because you started with an outcross base, so you don't have to worry about bottlenecking early.
yeah,
You let him breed on one side, see what comes out, then You have the females as outcrosses. Then you can take anything from the females now, line breed back on the female side. So
Yeah,
it's one of those things where you it's a delicate dance when you want to do it right, but not bottleneck your gene pool super fast.
yeah,
Because from those 5 dogs, you could do a dance for 3, 4 generations easily without even having to go off your yard.
yeah. And you know what? That's one thing. Right now I'm trying to do is have 3 lines.
Mhm.
But I'm basing it on my males. But it's just they're just the foundation to it. After that,
Exactly.
my girls are the ones that are gonna take over from there. But
Hmm.
it's and then what I'm gonna do is just a rotational system where
Yeah,
I don't have to go off my yard.
exactly. That's like me. Like like I wanted to go off my yard for my third gen because I lost Haas.
Mm,
So I only got to put him to Nova, so that put me in a little bind. So I wanted to go
yeah,
off my yard. So when I add back in his blood, I got a gene pool to pack. But when um when Batman died, because that was a stud that I was going to use from Martin,
okay.
Batman. I was going to put him to my inbred Nova granddaughter.
Mm,
And Batman is related to Nova through um her mom. So her mom's brother, sorry, not dad, is Batman's player, I think, if I remember right. Um Ballard's Rococo.
yeah, yeah.
On
You got stuck right there,
that
Marco.
impact, yeah, I saw that loading up.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah. So I wanted to add back in that Chumley on the backside, get back that
Yeah.
crazy head type, that build that, us bully breeders love. But
Yep.
that Impano Batman pass a week before my female came into heat, and then I went to use fats from Walker's. Um, we did 2 shipments, female intake. I thought she was a dud. Long story short, that didn't pan out, but I got to see what Fats did with Phoenix's half sister
Yeah.
with from Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I got to watch that blood real close, see what it did. We might put it back in this year depending on what it is, but right now this year I'm looking to do a oat cross, 2 oat crosses off my kennel, and then one lane breeding with a pan grandson.
Okay.
So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I got 2 oat crosses with a double Beastie Boy grandson.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, so the meal that I saw at the
Yes.
show,
At the
California.
show. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That that
So
that boy's a big boy.
yeah,
Monster head. Yes.
so he'll be one that I'm looking at for the oat cross on the pan, but the the 2-time Beastie Boy going to my 2-time Mally Kid blood should be a fun outcross because they're bred identically the same way, just 2 different bloodlines up front.
So remarkable. Now that you said outcross,
Hmm.
um, here's a question, and this for the audience, so they could kind of get a perspective. Because sometimes when they think outcross, they're like, "Oh yes, outcross, outside blood, everything." But even if it's a outcross, you got to make sure that those dogs, he's tightly bred, even if it's a outcross,
Yeah,
because
you
if
don't
not,
you
a scatterbred dog, man, you're just gonna see what comes out from there. You're like, man, where did this dog come from?
exactly. So you want to make sure that even though it's an outcross, is usually stacked tight and on phenotype too, because you don't want just get a dog that's tightly bred, but the phenotype doesn't match your
Yeah.
phenotype,
Yep.
because then you're going to get the genes just fighting against each other, and then you're going to get whatever disperses inside the litter. You're going to
Yes.
have a mix match type in your litter box.
Yep. Yeah.
So like phenotype on the outcross is definitely huge. But if you get a dog that is also line bred on his blood, the phenotype matches up front and through the pedigree, and you put it to your line bred stuff that the phenotype matches. Although they're outcross, they're gonna still produce that type.
Yep.
So
So
it's a
let me.
type breeding now that you do.
That's the yep. So let me ask you this: would you take that back to your lines, or will you try to use that outcross and breed to that?
No,
Because
I
you're gonna get 50-50 from there, right?
yeah, I'm gonna get 50-50. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick the best of the outcross and then put it back into my lanes. So I
Okay.
just want to open up my gene pool back up to about, because like roughly most of my dogs are about between 21, and I think on the high side is 36% unrelated dogs in a 10 gen
Oh,
pedigree.
okay. Yeah.
So like 21 is Haas because he's bred
Yeah.
tight. And then like my current litter, although it's a line breed and it has a 34% unrelated dogs in the ten gen pedigree. And that's solely because I lane breed on one dog in this lane breeding versus two sides of the pedigree. So it's just one side of the pedigree that I lane bred on this lane breeding. So it has three open sides for the outcross, so you don't get two bottleneck in the back.
Yeah. No, no, for sure. And another thing is I suggest, try to understand and read a pedigree.
Oh
It'll help out. I
yeah.
know some people, they claim they just outcross, and once they post a pedigree there, they don't know that. Well, you're that dog that you claim that you're just outcrossing. It's line bred, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, no, understand the pedigree. Study it so you could
Yeah.
see how things work.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because for me, back when I started in 2016 with the IBs, well, that's when I bought my first IB. But I was researching IBs for about two or so years before I bought one. So it's like I was in learning to read peds, watching bloodlines, like seeing what bloodlines do, like trying to trace bloodlines and breedings, like on the
Yeah,
pedigree database when it would actually work. So you could see at the actual pictures of the dogs and the
yeah,
bloodline and what that dog threw with this bloodline and et cetera, et cetera. So like that was a fun experience for me because like my ABs was like my first like big dog doing it like solo. Like growing up, my dad had pits and stuff like that, but like my first branch off doing big dogs by myself was the IBI. So like doing research and like my friends would tell you like back home I went down the rabbit hole on the pedigree and genetic side first before even starting.
yeah,
And I think that's one of the things that I got from like on the farm, because like when you want to bring in a new prospect, you gotta like research the pedigree, the genetics, make sure it
yeah,
matches up, all that stuff. So that's the rabbit hole I went down first before I got into the ABs, and then that was starting back home in Barbados, and then when I came here in the States, I went down a different rabbit hole all over again.
yeah,
And geez, 10 years later. that almost 11 years later now we this is where we are.
Yeah, no, no, and you're doing a great job, man. Your production speaks for themselves. You know, that's why I always say, let the dogs do the talking, man.
Yeah, that and that's like one of the things that I love to do. Like people like I I'm starting to pick up my social media presence now, but like before it was just like in the trenches, like doing the dogs, figuring out what's going on,
Yeah,
and they're seeing what's happening. But like now I can like close my eyes and pick dogs on my yard and just put them together and like not have to worry.
yep, and it's true, and that's the beauty of it.
And that part takes time. Like
Yes,
not every litter is going to hit. Not every litter is going to turn out how you want. Gotta be honest with yourself.
yeah, yeah, true. And you know what I like is when you have that consistency across the board with the pups,
Hmm.
and your pick is the hardest thing to do because everything looks good.
Yeah,
That's the goal to get to.
yeah. That's a beautiful part. Like right now, I let my daughter pick my pups.
See, see? Yeah, because you're
That's
not
what I
gonna
was
go
gonna
wrong.
say.
Yeah.
You got that puppy picker over there, so
Yeah,
you're
I
doing
let her
good.
pick my pup. She picked a female about I think it was like day two, and like this female wasn't nothing spectacular. Like I actually had to like do some work to like keep her there because she burst a sac, have fluid in her lungs and that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
like had to put in some extra work to make sure that she was good. And I was looking at her and I was like, yeah, like she a nice looking female, like she all right.
Yeah.
And then like day four, day five, day six hit, and I'm like, this female is like she's like blowing up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay. I'm like, and she's my daughter's like, yeah, that little one right there, like I like that little one. I'm like, okay, all right, cool, no problem. Me,
Yeah.
she calls her Jelly Bean. I'm like, all right, cool. That could be your little dog. All right, cool.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
like I'm looking at her now. I'm seeing traits like strong of what I wanted, like bringing back in Hoss, putting his blood back to his half sister, that kind of stuff. So I'm seeing like the cheek on her, the top skull, that kind of stuff. I'm like,
She's
maybe
expressing all the traits that
all the traits that I'm like looking for, like this
yeah.
dog has up front early. And for a female, like is one of those things where I'm like, if she has masculine male traits this early on, she's gonna be a really, really spectacular female.
Yeah.
Because
And
it's
that's
hard to get a
yeah.
female like that.
Yep.
Hard. And the
It's true.
females we love are usually the one that look like males in a slightly smaller frame.
Mhm.
Because that way like you can see the gene pool on both sides in this female, and you don't necessarily worry about what you put that female to.
Yeah, because she's gonna produce what she
Exactly.
has. Yep. No, it's true.
Like a lot of people like they don't like necessarily masculine looking females, but because they think that they come with problems in terms of like fertility,
Yeah.
don't come into heat and that kind of stuff. I'm like, I haven't had that issue. I had one dog like that my whole life. I mean, awesome female, spectacular looking female, looked like a male, everything, but she just never used to come in. No, she never used to tick. She would come in heat, cycle and everything, but she would never prove.
Mm.
But that's the only female. And that's when I first started. But
Yeah.
in terms of all like my other masculine looking females, like I'm like they cycle usually more often than my feminine looking ones.
Yeah.
Like every 6 months, I know Nova's in heat, like clockwork.
Yeah.
Every 6 months. Like she's on the clock, and her inbred granddaughter, super big head, super bully, big dog. every 6 months, like clockwork. She's
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Then no, my more petite, more nice shoreline females, not not like that. They they they
You're having
cycle.
split heat cycles in there.
Yeah, they cycle usually when I take my alpha females away, then they'll come in.
Mm,
So it's like my masculine looking females that I call my brood stock,
yeah.
they cycle well. My shoreline females are usually a little more reserved, and if I keep my masculine females around them, they don't cycle.
Mm,
Like
okay.
they're going to beta mode and don't cycle.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I only realized that because I got 15 females on my kennel,
Yeah.
and then it only clicked to me. I think last year that these females cycle, and I haven't had these set of females cycle in a year. And I was like, wait, what? That can't be right. And I was checking back and I was like, yeah, these females haven't cycled in a year and change.
Oh,
I take my alpha females away, like from in their like general vicinity,
yeah,
and
yeah.
put them off because I got 2 acres, so I could like spread them out a little more.
Okay.
And I took my alpha females away and cleaned out all my other females, dewormed them, give them their shots and everything, and like clockwork, all of them started cycling. Put them on wheat germ, and then it was like doom, doom,
There you go.
doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was probably the worst thing I had on my kennel in terms of my meals just being like
Just going crazy. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Now I
That's the
know.
worst thing ever. I had three just finishing up, and they were all like maybe two
Back,
weeks apart. Boom,
yep,
boom,
yep.
boom,
As
and
soon as my
everybody's
heart
just
hit,
whoa, 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 all
yeah,
day. Everybody's just
yeah,
man, it's horrible.
that's Panda. Like he thinks he's like I'm a stud everything. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you can't even reach half these females.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a stud. I'm a stud. Like he's like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you know, like, hey, even if I let you, like, nothing's gonna happen. You know,
Happening. Like
you can't do
no,
it. But yeah,
but
man, that's just the worst.
like a lot of people also think like when you inbreed, you get like issues like that, like in terms of like heat cycles, fertility, and stuff like that. I'm like, I haven't had any issues like that. Like
No.
you
Yeah.
usually like if you got a female with fertility issues, it comes from behind.
Yes. True. Because I've known a case where, you know, it was a this was gonna be a outcross, and
Hmm.
they tied the female. We thinking, okay, it's all good, they tied. She
Yeah.
didn't take.
Hmm.
They took that same female to the sire that I had to one of his sons.
Hmm.
Same thing. They tied. She didn't take.
Yeah.
So, and that dog was she wasn't tightly bred. She had some outcross in there.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but it comes, like you said, from back in the
It comes
pedigree
from
somewhere
behind.
in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I always tell people like, for instance, like when we bred pigs, like if we had a sow and she developed cancer later or like any kind of issues later, we would scrap her and then all of her daughters from the program
Yeah.
because it passes down.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. It's like you don't necessarily get the problem because you line breed. You get the problem because it's in there. Like
Yeah.
it can pop back up with an outcross, as I said before, with the same
Same
genetic,
issue. Yep.
same issue, different blood, same issue, same result.
Yep.
So it's just one of those things where, like, I say this, like, I take every, like, I'm a student of the game. I ask questions, I research, I always trying to learn something.
Yes.
And anytime I'm talking to someone, like I take their experiences with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Like you learn from their experience, but you don't let necessarily their experience be your experience or define your experience.
Exactly.
Like you just
Yeah.
take it with a pinch of salt, and you take the good, you note the bad,
Yeah.
you weigh your odds, pros and cons, and keep moving.
Yeah, and that is true. And like you said, sometimes it's good to talk to other fellow breeders and
Oh,
see what experience they had, because then you could avoid doing some of the things, but at the same time take notes on, okay, they did it like this, and mm,
exactly.
so no,
Yeah,
definitely I agree too.
and you know what? Sometimes to that point, like some people like they would have just heard it from somebody else, like, "Oh, this is bad, 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 bad." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
did you do that?" And they're like, "No, I never have, and I've never had the bad experience, but I was
Mhm.
shared with me the bad experience, so
Exactly.
therefore that's the reality of it." I'm like, "Wait,
Yeah,
what?
that it, it's like the
You
scary
don't know."
spirit program.
Yes.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
hear all the bad, and then they, hi baby, mommy, you're going to circle here with me. Okay. Oh. But yeah, like it's like the scary strip program. They hear all the bad and they run with it, and that's all they can see. Like they can just see that tunnel vision that they were fed. They don't want to look at the other side of the coin where it worked for someone else. Or
Exactly. And then no, and then what they do, they'll go to Google, search that up, and it just
Mhm.
gives you like, oh, why is it bad? It gives you an answer,
Exactly.
but it's like, hey, I could do the same thing and say, why is it good? And it's gonna give me a different answer to it, you know.
Exactly.
But if you never done it, how will you know? It's like don't
Good
sleep
old
on it.
Google.
Yeah.
Google is a double edged sword. You can ask it. It's gonna tell you exactly what you want to hear in your question.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna find the answer
Exactly
to
what you look for.
100% yes and 100% no.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly what you look for.
Yeah, exactly.
See, Beyond Bullies is saying, I've had issues with smaller rip up females not coming into heat. Too much testosterone. I've learned I had
Yeah,
to start closing antibiotics months before they supposed to cycle.
yeah. Ripped up females usually. I find that it's hard to put fat on them too. So it's like a calorie thing, and the body decides what it wants to do.
Mhm.
Do I want to send all this energy and calories and stuff and hormones into cycling or just maintaining?
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's going to choose to maintain.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
But
And
yeah, ripped
see,
up
like,
females are fun to look at, lovely dogs to look at. They're awesome. But once you get like the calorie intake and you understand your females, like he said, he has to like run antibiotics and stuff like
yeah,
before. Once you figure out your dogs and what they need,
you're
it,
good. Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Exactly.
good.
See, yeah. Like, I didn't know this. Honestly, what Riamboli said, he has to give him antibiotics months before.
Hmm.
That's something to, that I didn't know. It's a new learning experience.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had the antibiotic experience with my bulldogs or anything, but I know for a fact when it was time for Jean to come into heat because she was like super ripped all the time, high tuck, like you could feed this dog 10 times a day and she would not get fat. Like
Mhm.
she would just put on muscle.
Yeah.
And like when I know it's time for her to like cycle, I had to like put her on kennel rest, wheat germs, added fats, like trying to like plump her back up, like so she has excess. But yeah, like once you know, it's one of those things. Is like it's the dance. Like us
Yes.
as breeders, we do the dance. We
Yep.
we choose a dog. We love this aesthetic, and we commit to it and figure out if it has good, the bad, and the ugly. figure
exactly.
out what the dog needs, and we keep pushing.
Yep. Yep. And you know what? And I had this conversation with George where he believes as well, if we start inbreeding, you start going smaller. But
Oh,
in my theory is selecting,
it's definitely selection because
right?
the funniest things, my biggest puppy ever, biggest dog ever, was from Nova to her brother Thanos.
Okay.
Different litters, Nova and Thanos, but same parents. I put them together, and I had a dog that I call Raymond Redditon. He was 25 pounds at 8 weeks.
Oh man.
Big, long puppy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Huge. And I was like, damn. And like, he wouldn't stop growing. As he grew, he just kept growing and kept growing and kept
Yeah.
growing. But at the same time, it's like if you inbreed on a dog that has small dogs behind it,
You're gonna have
you'll get back those small dogs.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Most of the dogs behind Nova's pet are really big dogs. Like you got baby stuff in the back. You got
Yeah.
some of these really big old school style dogs behind her. And she throws big dogs, but at the same time she still throws like some nice compact dogs because of the Chumlee side of her pedigree.
Yes. Yep.
So it's one of those things
I think
where
it's oven.
once you
Oh my goodness.
understand the dogs and the pedigree
Shit.
behind and you inbreed, you can get back big dogs, you can get back small dogs. There's like there's no definite for that in my book because I've done it in terms of big dogs, in terms of small dogs and Jack Russells.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not there's no like guarantee that you're going to get back smaller dogs because you inbreed.
Yep.
Like if you keep doing it, yeah, you'll get back some that are tiny. Like if you keep inbreeding and you're inbreed, then yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
eventually you'll bottleneck, and then that's what happens. Like the gene pool shrinks down.
Yeah.
So like that's called bottlenecking. So I don't necessarily think it's inbreeding that causes tiny dogs, but you could bottleneck a gene pool by lane breeding.
Yep. True that.
So
Yeah.
there's
And
it's
the
50-50.
misconception too of inbreeding is they believe that, you know, temperament it creates bad temperament.
No,
No.
no, like
No, if your dog just comes with
if you got a solid
already.
temperament,
Yeah.
I don't think two dogs with solid temperaments going to throw weird dogs all of a sudden because you inbreed them. Like usually temperament, like you can it's like working dogs. People select certain lanes on working dogs because of temperament.
Yep.
So it's like honestly, I think it's genetic, but at the same time, I also think temperament is also environmental
True.
because
Yep.
you could have a dog that is acting out because it doesn't respect anyone in the home or fear anyone in the home. It doesn't look at you as the alpha and the leader, and it
Yep.
tries to test you. And
Yeah.
we all know bulldogs will test you.
Definitely.
So it's like it could be environmental, it could be case by case kind of thing. So it's like one of those things where if you start with solid temperaments for the most part, you shouldn't have any issues.
Any issues? No, I agree. Yep. No, no,
That,
definitely.
that's,
Remarkable. We're coming to our end. This was a awesome podcast today, man. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. You're pretty knowledgeable of a lot of the inbreeding, outcrossing, line breeding.
yeah, that's my jam right there.
Yeah. So no, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for being here with us. This was good, man. A lot of good information that got put out there.
Yeah.
Even for the people that might have some questions. Hey, you could, ask me, ask for Marco, whatever you guys might want to know. Um, Not saying that I have all the answers, but like Remarco said, man, I hit those books. I try to study as much as I can because I
Yeah,
like to learn. Yep.
it's one of those things. And another thing too that will help a lot of people like figure out the COA and stuff behind their dogs. There's a website called Pedigree Online.
Okay.
So it pretty much has pedigreeonline.com. It pretty much has most of the AB bloods already in it,
Okay.
and it's just a great tool to like understand like COA, like breaks down a lot of different stuff for you, like
Okay.
behind your dogs, and you could add them in if they're not in there. It's
Okay.
another fun tool that I use to break down certain stuff, look at different things, see which dogs I'm pulling on, because it breaks down stuff like dogs like blood by percentage and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Another great tool to have too, like I say, it's embark your dogs because
Oh,
man, there's so much
100%.
stuff that you will learn from there that you're like, man, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
my dogs carry this.
Yeah, so it's like the embark tells you the genetic tricks and stuff behind your dogs that you wouldn't
Yeah,
even think about.
exactly.
And that's like me. I use embark and what's the next one? Wisdom panel. So
Wisdom.
I I use I use two of them differently for different programs. So like my
Yeah.
ABs are usually on wisdom, oldies are in embark.
Embark. Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it tells you a lot because like a lot of people in the AB world don't even know that like ABs carry DM,
Yeah.
degenerative myopathy, and then they start line breeding on certain dogs that carry DM, and then eventually it starts to bite you. You get dogs that come back with brain issues later down. They don't recognize their owner
Yeah.
turns, they just bite them, all that
Yeah.
kind of different stuff. So I'm definitely an advocate for getting that genetic testing done for sure. Even
Oh,
if that's just the base that you do, like if you want to breed and line breed and stuff, I might think even if that's just like the minimum you do in terms of health testing, that genetic testing goes a long way.
yes. I agree with you. Yep. All right, brother. Well, thank you, Remarker, once again for being here, brother. Gabriel, appreciate it, brother, being here. Um, we'll do the next one, Remarkable. Hopefully, you know what? On these lives, if you ever want to jump on the live, man, just send me a message, brother.
All right,
You know?
yeah, because I'm usually free on a Wednesday evening, so we can work out anything.
All right. I will appreciate it, Marco. Have a good night, brother. Thank
All
you.
right, you too.